your hostess with the mostest. Welcome back to We Can Do This. Yay. I would like to welcome today and introduce you to my best friend in the world, Tina. Say hi to everybody, Tina.
Hi, everyone.
This out earlier today. We have been best friends for 25 years.
At least 25.
Yeah.
Maybe 26.
So
27.
for a lot of years. We have been supporting each other. We've been there for each other through thick and thin and about everything in between.
Yes, we have.
Yes. So today's topic, I want to let everybody know, you may not see the bounce in my Tigger today as much as you have in previous live streams I've done. I've had a really rough last 2 weeks, and it came to a head 24 hours ago for me. And I am going to talk about that this live stream. So please hang in there with me and stay tuned. Everyone who is watching has the information I'm going to provide for you and gives that information on to your friends and your family and whoever else you care about in your life. With that being said, I have to tell you, I picked this topic last week about, realizing that you have more strength than what you realize you do. And I was really excited to do this topic today until this incident happened in me yesterday. And I really didn't want to do this broadcast today. I wasn't in the mood to do it. It wasn't in my 3:30 this morning. And I had a wake-up call, kind of literally, but I realized that if I don't talk about this topic today, then I'm being a hypocrite. Because the whole reason for my channel and the whole reason I started this was my goal was to help other people. And it's today. That was not going to be fair to anybody who's watching me, any of my subscribers, any of my friends, anybody who's new here. And if you are new here, welcome aboard. But please hit that button. So it's up to 11. On one. I lost the connection.
Oh.
You there? Hi again. This channel is for you. And what happened to me last night, it's very important for me that you know. So that is strength, this live stream today. And I do apologize for some reason. We are having technical, and we're just going to keep going here because I'm hoping it may fix itself. I know it's with the camera, with my laptop, but I am going to keep going because I feel this information is very important, and camera may come and go, so we're just going to wing it here. That's okay. So what I'm going to say first is you need to realize that you have more strength than you realize. And I can tell you that this is very true. Because right now, the way I feel, I don't feel very strong. I realize that I am a very strong person, but when you're going through something that's very horrible, you feel very weak and very vulnerable, which is how I feel now. But I know that strength is in me, and I know that I'm going to get through this. And we're going to review some reasons why I will. And the first thing is you need to believe in yourself. And I'll bet that I know the times where you really just need to kind of sit back and say, I can do this. I know I can do this. I've done things like this before. I've gone through bad times before and I've made it. I can do this. And what you need to do, one thing you can do that can kind of help is keep moving, keep yourself busy, keep yourself focused and keep telling yourself, I can do this. And realize you're moving forward, you're keeping going. What you don't want to do is don't turn to something synthetic that's going to alter your mental, your physical, your emotional state. That's what you don't want to do. What you want is to not go to drugs, alcohol. Those will take thoughts that will not be healthy for you. It will put you in a very toxic place. And that's not what you need. When you're at your lowest, you need to find that strength and you need to have a clear head. You need to be thinking clearly. So keep away from this and stay busy, keep moving. And another thing that can help, set goals for yourself. What do you want in life? Figure it out. What drives you? What motivates you? Figure that out, set those goals for yourself. And that doesn't mean that today you can set goals for yourself and in a couple of weeks, maybe those goals change. Maybe you need to do some adjustments on what your goals are. We were talking about this earlier, that when you're in your 20s, your goals then are very different from now. Absolutely. Because when you're in your 20s versus when you're in your 50s, you have two very different directions you want to go in. When you're in your 20s, you're down the hoe, you're out to do what? Conquer the world.
Conquer the world, yeah.
Yeah, and and by the time you're in your 50s, yeah,
Survive in the world.
yeah. She laughed. She laughed, and there's a good reason she did that. It's set those goals, but be flexible with them because life changes as life goes on, because that's the way life is, right? So you need to be flexible with them. And another thing you need to think about is look to them for guidance and for wisdom. If it's someone that you're in contact with, whether it's email or you can call them, what you need to do is reach out to them. Have they been through the same thing before? Reach out to them and get their input. What did they go through and how did they work through it? Where did they find their strength in that path to reach finally being happy again and getting through that rough time in their lives? That's what we're here for. That's what this channel is here for. That's what we're here for each other. That's what we do. And that's what we should do for each other. And that being said, one of the other things you need to understand, and I'm going to talk to Tina a little bit here on, because we need to seek inspiration, and we need to understand that even when we get this feedback from others, maybe getting what they went through, we need to understand, and it's going to be blunt, but it's very true. This is called life. No one ever promised us it was going to be easy. And there's going to be setbacks, failures, disappointments. Tina, I think you and I both know. Yeah. And what we need to remember is what's never going to change. And even though, I'm going through something really rough right now, even though that happens, you get through it, you really need to remember that that's not the only one thing that's going to ever happen to you. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen to you during our life here. And just, you know what, it's gonna come control. A lot of times it is stuff that's not in your control. And I think one thing that helps that is we need to remember, who is it that makes us smile? Who is it that makes us happy and helps us keep going? Nobody around you. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh, who say things that brighten your day, and who just remind you that even if you're in the moment, you will get through it. I will get through this.
And you're never alone.
And you're never alone. Absolutely. And keep that going. Never let them out of your sight. And if you do, you need to do something else too. Keep the positivity in your life. Get the toxic people out of your life. The last thing you need when you're at a low point in your life, that it is going to help you to have those types of people in your life. And is visualize your success. From their perspective, they know who you are, and they can visualize you being successful, being that person who can get through this and move on and be happy again and move on with life. And that's one thing that these positive people can do. Get those obstacles out of the way. You know you can do this. You can. I know you can. Jan and I have done it. Let me tell you something. If her and I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. I promise you that. Absolutely. And the last thing that I want to talk about today is, and this works for me, and I promise you, this is something that'll work for you. In life, when you through these things, pieces, take them in baby steps. Take them in little pieces at a time like that. I told Tina a long time ago, and you said that this helped you.
Yes, it did.
What you want to do is, when you have something that's overwhelming, I've done this all my life and it helps. Say someone comes to you and they say, that's okay, just take it one day at a time. I hate when someone tells me that, because the day be
Very long.
It can seem like an eternity and unbearable. And what you want to do is take that overall situation. If you have to break something down from 24 hours to an hour or a minute, and it's worked for me. And I can honestly say that when you do this like that, you break it down, you get a victory right there, because you've gone a little further like this. And when you get those little victories, you go, I can do this. Not bad. And then you do this, and it becomes this, and then this, and then this. And then you realize you've gone 360 degrees before you know it. And it's just like when you go down to a second, the seconds go really fast. Next thing you know, it's been a minute, and you're like, wow, you do this. And you work your way up. Take the small victories for what they are, because they're still victories. They don't have to be big. They don't have to be huge. Little victories are different. I promise you that. They will keep you going, and they will have you realize that strength's there. You have it in you, and it will come out in a way that may even impress you. I've gone through things in my past that I didn't even believe I did, and I'm sitting here, and I'm talking to you, and I got Tina here, and going through a glitch. It's just another moment in time for me. And I'll get through it. As we all will. And we all have.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do, I have a couple live streams, but I'm afraid a lot of people probably jumped off if they were on because of the technical difficulties. But that's okay, because I have one guy who is my better half and has been the saving grace for me the last 24 hours, is my guy, Mark. Hi, Mark. I see you live stream me. And he is saying, that's why you call this We Can Do This. You got it. You got it, baby.
That's right.
Absolutely. You're totally right. And you're both doing great. Tina, we're doing great. Isn't that wonderful? We're doing great. You two can do this. And we've been doing this, and kind of looks like the technical difficulty may have corrected itself. I hope so. And those of you, if anybody other than Mark, are out there, thank you very much for hanging in there with us. And with that being said, I gave Tina a little spoiler alert earlier, which I'm going to pass on to everyone here. I am going to talk about the big green-eyed monster next week, which is jealousy. We've all had it. We've all seen people have it. And I'm going to try my best to have another guest next week. They don't know it yet. I haven't asked them yet, but I'm hoping that they will indulge me and come on with me next week. And so we'll see how that goes, whether I'm here just me next week or with another. Tina was caught off guard this week.
Yes.
I may catch the next guest off guard too, but hopefully it'll work out as good as this did.
We got this.
So yeah, we do. We can do this. We got this. Absolutely, we do. And now I'm hoping that those of you who stuck with me and those of you who maybe even forwarded through during a replay past some of the technical stuff, I would like for everybody watching to not worry about live streaming. Don't live stream while I'm telling you this part. And I ask that everyone who is watching this, even if it's 3 or 4 people who end up watching this, I ask that you pay attention to every word that I say. I ask that you pass this along to everyone you care about, neighbors, family, friends. This is something very horrible that happened to me last night. This is very hard for me to talk about, but I'm going to do this because that's why I'm here. I feel very much like a fool today. I'm very embarrassed by what happened. I feel like a really big loser today. Loser. That's Tina and my little side thing there. But it is really serious, and I beg you to listen. And so here we go. Last night, I was not in a good place. I was very vulnerable. I've had a very bad couple weeks. And last night was bad. So I came home after work and I turned on my laptop and gone into YouTube. You know, it's just one of the things I do. I'm newer to YouTube. I've only been on like a handful of months, but I have probably over 80 friends, you know, in my address book on Facebook. And I typically just like kind of scroll through and I'll do a like or I'll respond to somebody in my address book. And I just sit there and I go through them all. And that's what I was doing last night. And what happened was I got locked up. I got scammed. I got a big message on my screen that locked up my screen. I was hacked. And it was a Microsoft scam. Please take note of this. It was Microsoft scam. And they locked up my screen. and there was a number there, so I called it. It looked very legitimate. When I called, it seemed very legitimate. They had reports up on the screen showing me how many times I had been tried to hack. They even told me one of the hacks was in Dayton, Ohio. But they couldn't identify where the other ones were coming from because they were international. So in order to do this, I needed to go buy Xbox cards at the local store. And I had to buy a certain dollar amount of them and come back and give them the serial numbers on the back of the cards, scratch them off and give them the serial numbers. I've never used an Xbox card. I didn't even know what they were. I had to find them at the store, which I did, of course. Long story short, I will not expose how much money I lost. I will say that Mark, my better half, had common sense to defend me when I was in a state where I was totally caught off guard and wasn't prepared. All I kept thinking about was the live stream today, that I had to get my laptop back to talk to all of you today. Well, while I was on the phone with them, he called the police. They came to the house while I was still on the phone with the scammers. He got on the phone with them and they lied to the police. And I will not repeat what I yelled to him on the phone because it was on speaker. But I realized at that point I was scammed. I am very ashamed of what happened. The only bright side to it is because of Mark and what he did to help me. He stopped it from going further than what it did. In talking with the police and in talking with my computer guy, I found that people who are much more educated than me have been scammed for much larger quantities. In fact, the quantities that they said to me was $6,000 in one case and $10,000 in another case. Now, I promise you all, don't get too upset for me. I can promise you the money that I lost was nowhere near either one of those amounts because of Mark. And the North Sewickley Police Department, who I want to personally thank online for being there for me. They took pictures of the majority of the cards I bought with all the serial numbers on them, filed a police report, but I am very much into reality and I know I will never get my money back. It is what it is. But I wanted to tell you this story today, number one, because you need to know it. And number two, I want to give you some tips on what happened last night so that you can take some steps to stop it from happening to you. I found out from my computer guy that what I did, they did not hack my laptop. What happened was when I was on Facebook, and I don't remember which one of my friends it was, but it was one of them that had an attachment. And I knew the person. It was someone I knew. I wouldn't have tried to open the attachment otherwise. And that's how I was hacked. It was through the attachment that someone had put on Facebook. My advice to you is if you are on Facebook, or even if you're not on Facebook, if you're on any other social media, I don't care if it's someone you know. Don't click on any attachments, even if it's someone you do know. And if it's something that you really want to see, if it's something that really interests you, call or email that person directly. Don't do it through Facebook and don't try to do it through an attachment. Go to them, call them, email them, have them check it on their end, because I'm sure if it's a picture or something, they have it on their laptop. Have them check it on their end. And if it's okay, have them send it to you in a separate email altogether. Then that way it has nothing to do with Facebook or the attachments that's out there, and it can be done in a much safer way. My second piece of advice to you is even if you don't fall for it like I did, and I sincerely hope you don't after I'm giving you this story, call the police. Have a report filed. Give them as many details as you can. And even if you call the number that's there and you get an answer and they put things on the screen, I recommend take photos of it on your camera. That's one thing you can do. Whatever they put on your screen, take photos of it. Try to get some information out of them. Listen to their spiel. What are they telling you? Give the police all this information so that they can file a police report. And hang up with these people. And if you want to keep them talking for more information, that's fine. Just don't give in to them. Hang up, call the police, file a report. And if you become a victim like I did, and I'm referring to a victim being myself, I'm not talking about anybody else. They have advised you call your bank, your financial institution, whatever, credit union, whatever you use. Let them know you were a victim of fraud so that they are aware and they can keep an eye on your account from being hacked as well. Tina and I are very fortunate. We both worked together for many, many years at the same company, and we belong to the same credit union. They're very, very personable. They know who we are. And I actually have a lock on my account where even if someone did get into it, they can only take a very small amount because my credit union has done that. So we're very fortunate in that sense, but I'm still going to call them on Monday. And my computer guy is coming over this week. If you are hacked, don't get into your laptop to do anything financial. Don't get into statements. Don't buy anything with your credit card. Don't do anything like that. Have your computer person come to your house like I am, or take it to Best Buy, or take it to somewhere who deals with computers and they're experts at it. Have them look in your computer, because even if you don't, it doesn't happen to you what happened to me. If they still lock up your computer, you're still going to have to deal with it. You're not going to be able to use your computer at all. Take it to an expert. They know how to get into your laptop. They know what to look for and check and to get it off your laptop. Don't take it on yourself. And if you are vulnerable like me, I hope you're lucky like me to have someone there who can have your back and can speak for you when you're in a state where you can't speak for yourself. I'm very fortunate, and I'm looking at the bright side of things much more today than I was last night and at 3:30 in the morning this morning. I've talked to some wonderful people who have my back and love me for who I am, mistakes, faults, and everything. And I have a great guy in my life who has me no matter what. I have a great family, great friends. That's what you need to do. I want you to take my story, spread it around, tell it to everybody you know. Don't become what I did. Fight back. And I'm looking at the bright side because I didn't lose near as much money as many other people have. I had good people defending me. Be there for others. Tell them, warn them, and watch out for it yourself. So now that we've talked about being strong, now you understand why at this point in time I can smile, because I haven't been able to do that all day. But I can now because I've talked here with you. I had a great co-host today. She's amazing. And I was able to tell you my story and to make sure that you can look out for yourself, fend for yourself, be strong. You can be. I am, and I'm going to be. And now I'm going to end with my Mr. Rogers ending, except no throwing of shoes for singing. But as we always say here, we can do this. We got this. I can, and I will. So will you. So until next time, everybody, take care of yourself. stay safe. Watch out for yourself and have a great week next week. So until next time, bye-bye.